Hi everyone, it's Amanda of amandaellis.co.uk, Facebook page Angelic Celestial Colours, and YouTube channel Amanda Ellis 11. Thanks for tuning in. This is a mid-month reading for you all, June 2017, making it on June the 16th. And the reason I'm doing so is because I've had quite a few emails in from many of you requesting help, needing some guidance, and I am bang in the middle at the moment of writing new material for a really good, great new Archangel course that I'm writing. I'm really pleased with what's coming through. I'm actually very humbled with what's coming through because those of you that do channel and do this type of work, you'll know what I mean here. You sort of sit down in the morning feeling very human, needing a cup of coffee, you know, feeling a bit tired or whatever, and you just ask the archangels to come through, and it's just like this outpouring of information and insight and wisdom from them. And I feel very blessed to do this work. So but it does mean that I'm very busy at the moment doing that, so I thought I'll do this video just to help steer a few of you that may be feeling a bit wobbly at the moment, because I know June's been a big month. Certainly been a very big month here in the UK. I mean, we've had so much to contend with. Terrorist attacks, which I referred to in my last video. We've had a general election, which was extremely divisive, and as of today, we still haven't actually got a government in power. We're in transition phase, very uncertain times, and we've had the terrible fire as well in London over the last couple of days. So it's left a lot of people reeling, and you know, there's a lot that's been written about the UK in terms of it being a very important place energetically. London linked to the Earth Star chakra of the planet as well, and it's like when London gets rocked, the world gets rocked. And it's because London, I feel, is so symbolic of so many nations. Having lived there myself, you know, it's a real melting pot. And when it succeeds and it does well, it's awe-inspiring, and it's like a beacon for the rest of the world. And when it's in pain and troubled and in strife, it sort of reflects that that's also going on in many other places as well. So yeah, I'm making this from the UK today, and there is a lot of collective pain around, and there's a lot of negativity around, a lot of depression around at the moment. So what can we do to just help ourselves in these times, to stay true to our path, really, you know, and to try to maintain that fifth dimensional consciousness, which is what we want to hold, whatever is going on around us, in our own lives or in the collective. Okay, so we're really being tested at the moment. Now, this is the second time I've tried to make this video, and I am going to refer to two cards that fell out in the first recording, because I think they're really important. They're from the Spirit Oracle deck by Tony Carmine Salerno, and the two that came out, and you're just going to have to trust me on this, that they did come out, were direct opposites of each other. They were the card of free will and the card of divine will. And they really spoke to me personally at this time, and I hope that they will also resonate with you. I'm going to refer to the Leo King's video here that he's done, I don't know, a few days ago. I think it's called A Pleiadian Message. But essentially what he's talking about is the fact that this year, the next couple of months, July and August, are absolutely pivotal, because there is so much change coming in, and there is so much that we can't see that is about to happen as well in our own individual lives as well. And it's hugely karmic. It's very much about endings and new beginnings. And he uses the phrase, it's something along the lines of, you know, you've got to, when the wall comes down at the end of this year, you need to be on the right side of it, okay? And by that, he's talking about the Ascension journey. You know, we have to have dealt with whatever we've been dealing with over the last couple of years. We have to have reached resolution, you know, so that we can move on unhindered to really do and be what we're meant to be in this lifetime. There's no more playing small. There's no more hiding. It's like it's now or never. And whilst I agreed with what he was saying, I also feel that there are always opportunities for individuals, whether this is an important portal time or not. There will also be another opportunity to get on the right side of the wall, you know, and Spirit will always provide a ladder to help you. But having said that, Spirit wants as many of us as possible to be on the right side of the vibrational wall. It's a vibrational wall that I'm talking about. So do you stay in a very fixed third dimensional fear-based state, and words like I can't or I won't or I fear, you know, are there? Or do you leap over onto the other side, which is about I can, I will, and I am, okay? And that's the side obviously we all want to be on. But we can't do that, many of us, unless we have really resolved the past. And this applies to a lot of you. It doesn't necessarily apply to people that have just had something thrown at them, you know, who've just had something come into their life that they're suddenly having to deal with anew. I'm really talking to you, people who are watching this, who've maybe been struggling with something for a long time, haven't been able to forgive, haven't been able to let go, haven't been able to move on. You might have really tried very hard, but you haven't been able to move past whatever it is, you know, whether it's a failed relationship, whether it's a job that no longer satisfies you, whether it's an addictive behavior that you keep doing to yourself, whether it can be so many different things. It can be anything. It can be money, it can be health, it can be anything, to be perfectly honest with you. But it's something with which you've struggled with for quite a long time. And you've had free will up to this point to try to navigate your own path, to get on the right side of the vibrational wall so you really can walk your talk, walk your spiritual path, do what you were meant to do in this lifetime. But some of us, it's not that we failed, it's just that we're running short of time. And by that, I don't mean that the world is about to end or that we're about to die. I'm talking about the ascension of this planet. And there has been, and I think we probably have all sensed and seen it over this year in particular, a gathering of darker forces on our earth, okay? There's no doubt about that. You know, the dark is rising up. But it is to do with what Metatron is showing me, which is the hourglass sand again, you know? They are aware that time is running short, that we are on the brink of being able to flip over into a new dimensional reality, which is about freedom, abundance, peace and joy. And there is an elite out there, I want to say an energetic elite, that really don't want that to happen. And so it is this real, almost like final battle going on at the moment between the dark and the light. And that's why I feel over the next few months, possibly even going up to the end of the year, but not going into next year, at some point in time, I'm not saying for the whole of that period, but at some moment in time, you may well have something come into your life, which is where your free will gets suspended for a short period of time so that the divine can step in and move you to where you actually need to be. Okay? Now that all sounds great. It's like, oh, thank God, you know, the angels are going to come in. God's going to come in. They're going to do it for me. What you have to realise is that for this to happen, there's a reason why you've stayed stuck, okay? There's a reason why you haven't done it yet. And so therefore, I feel as though Metatron wants to prepare you for the fact that many of us are going to have a moment over the next few months, going to the end of the year, where the divine steps in and takes control of your ship. And that might be a bit unnerving because you're not going to know where you're going, okay? It's literally like, I use the analogy of ships a lot. You know, you are the captain of your own ship. You steer your ship, you know where you're going. Even if you're not going anywhere, you know you're not going anywhere. Even if you know you're going round in circles, you know you're going round in circles. And you know what that looks like. You know what that feels like. Even if you know and you're steering your ship and you're not going very fast, but you know eventually you'll get to the promised land, you're still in charge. When the divine steps in, effectively what happens is they take over control of the ship, okay? They take over the steering wheel. And actually what you do is become an observer, okay? And that is a bit daunting to all of us that have lived in this our whole life, knowing that ultimately we always have free will. And the only reason it's happening is because Spirit needs us to get a move on, okay? It needs this planet Earth to get a move on. The ultimate ascension of the planet, and you can talk about, well, what does that mean? But let's just maybe come back to that in a moment, has been a slower process than originally was anticipated. If you think back to 2012 and all the talk about 2012 and dimensional shifts and realities changing, many were disappointed. We know that we've shifted since 2012. We may have shifted, but the wider world hasn't. And there is still an imbalance of the dark and the light, and it needs to now shift back more towards the light. And that, I feel, is why we've got the divine coming in, who is going to step into many of our lives and actually for one moment take control of your ship. And that might mean that changes happen that are unexpected, that you can't make sense of at the time, that really trouble you because you're used to being in control. But ultimately, the divine knows where you really need to be, where you need to be going, and what you need to be doing. And it hasn't just got your interests at heart, it's got the collective's interests at heart. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's the first thing I wanted to say. Let's pull another card that goes with that, and I'm going to pull from a different deck. Let's go for my new Kyle Gray Keepers of the Light Oracle deck. Let's see what sort of support we have around us with regard to everything that I've just said, okay? I hope that resonates with you. It definitely resonates with me. And as I say, it really isn't that it's like, oh, well, we can all sit back now and just wait for Spirit to sort of sort us all out. It's not that at all. It's Spirit stepping into situations that have gone on too long, where they know that you've tried your hardest, and actually you don't even necessarily know the answer. And they are going to take you to the waters that you need to be in, okay? And it can apply to any area of life. And it's because you're needed. You know, you are needed on a much bigger, wider level than you can ever imagine, in your own country, in your community, in your home, okay? And Metatron is saying, and in the wider cosmos as well, okay? There's so much that we can't see. Right. He's saying it's a bit like when we incarnate upon the earth, we all agree that we're here to do something and to spread something, you know, to spread our light, to shine brightly if we are light workers. And it's as though, you know, it's like an army of us that go forward onto the earth to do that job. And it's as though some of us have gone a bit AWOL, he's saying. Not through any particularly negative state, just via fear. But you know, but fear is so corrosive, and it's almost as though, you know, the higher powers that be, you know, I'm simplifying it here, but it's the way the analogy is being shown to me. It's as though they're going to call the clarion, you know, it's like the clarion gets called, and it sort of makes everybody get back into the positions that they're meant to be in, okay? And if you can't do it yourself, they will do it for you, okay? So if you're meant to be a general at the front, you're going to be put at the front. If you're meant to be one of the foot soldiers at the back, but still playing a very important role, you're going to be put at the back, you know? You might be told to rest or be out of action for a while, but you're going to be where you need to be. That's what he's saying. Okay, let's have 2 cards here then, please, in terms of the support that we've got with regards to all that is being said. I understand now why he wanted me to make this video today, because I couldn't quite understand why it was so important the message got out. But you need to prepare for this, because some of us are going to be faced with these, what's the word? Melchizedek's just fallen out. Some of us are going to be faced with these, does the word begin with P? Preemptions? No. Basically Spirit coming in earlier than others. Some of us have got a few more months, grace. to try to use our own free will to get us to where we need to be. But for some of us, the divine will is coming in quicker than you think, okay? So we've got Melchizedek energy. Which other energy have we got here? Diana, focused intention. Okay, let's look at Melchizedek first. I love the image on this card. Can you see that? Very, very beautiful, isn't it? I love the white imagery. I love, of course, the flower of life that is behind Melchizedek, linking into creation. And the message on the card says, you have learned from experience. More inner study is now required to further progress. Okay, so he's talking about higher learning. And I feel as though, just linking into his energy on here, what he wants me to say is that you have learnt all that you can from the present situation or block, effectively, that you've got, you know. So I'm talking here really to those of you that have really put some work in, you know, who have really tried hard. And it's as though we're reaching the end where we've learnt as much as we can from a particular situation, a relationship or a situation. And what we need to do, what this shift is about, what this divine will coming in is about, is to help us to graduate effectively, you know, to go on to the next phase of our life's journey where we will learn new things. We will absorb new energy. We will be new people. And the thing is, you can't learn anything if you're still basically looking at the old textbook, you know. Sorry, battery went again. I think I was talking about the fact that you can't learn any more by looking at the old book, okay? So that's what Melchizedek is saying. He's actually saying that we are ready as a species to, uncover some of the real ancient mysteries of the universe. And he's showing me the crystal skulls in particular, which are said to be hidden, 13 I think across the world, and they will only be revealed when humanity has reached a point in its consciousness where it is actually able to even understand what is contained within them. I'm also being shown the Sphinx as well, which I know holds much ancient mystery and knowledge. The pyramids as well, Egyptian energy coming through here. And it's as though we can't access any of that until we have graduated. And that is why we are going to be, I feel, lovingly pushed towards completion of whatever we've been going through, which we haven't been able to resolve, so that we can begin anew by the end of this year into next year, okay? Right, anything else that Melchizedek wants to say? I just want to have a look at the message in the book. It says, you have learned so much to this point and are learning more every day. You are recognizing all the great lessons your experiences and challenges have brought to you, and you are preparing for a transition or inner ascension where you will move beyond another level of fear and into the inner sanctum of your heart and soul. Become aware of patterns, ancient symbols and signs being sent to you from the universe. There's a sense that you are now able to focus in a new way and offer greater light to the world. Melchizedek and his order are with you now, leading you towards spiritual wisdom. Meditate and connect with their light. Okay, so let's just spend a moment to connect into the Melchizedek energy then. And if we just concentrate on a white sphere of light. And within that white sphere of light is the gold engravings of the flower of life. This geometric symbol that is behind his head here. So we're linking into the gold flower of life, we're linking into the white ray of Melchizedek, and we are resting on that. I'm hearing him say that you can lean on me. It's his energy feels old, ancient, steady. He's seen it all before, and he is able to hold you through this process that we are all asked to go through over the next few months. The energy feels like, if you were relating it to a family, it would be like a grandfather, okay? It would be like a grandfather type energy. So it's the wise one, it's the wise elder, the wise galactic elder, he's saying to me, okay? And then right next to him, the two cards are quite contrasting, because we've got the wise galactic elder, that's Melchizedek, with all his white hair. And then we've got this very fertile, young, beautiful woman who represents, I guess, the goddess Diana, and is about focused intention. And she says, think about what you desire, set your sights high, and expect the best possible outcome. So this feels as though it's linked into really, okay, what she's saying to me here is that you can help spirit, okay? You can help yourself as well. You can help your own spirit. This transition from free will to divine will can feel a bit harsh, and it doesn't have to. If you go back to the analogy on the boat, it doesn't have to be 1 minute you're steering the ship and then the next moment you're pushed aside and spirit takes over and it's like you don't know where the hell you're going. She's saying there is a middle option, which is effectively that you've still got free will, you know where you want to be going, and then you allow the divine to come in and do it, steer you. Does that make sense? So go back to the analogy of the boat. You're on the boat, you've got your hands on the steering wheel, you're stuck, but you do know where you want to go, and you have, not just that you know where to go, you've really imagined it. You can sense it with all your senses. It already is a reality. It's already there. It's not just a distant pipe dream that you've sort of thought about, but it would be nice. It's like it's real. It's a real reality. It's out there in the matrix. And by being very focused in your intention, that's what she's saying, what you do is you take your hands off the steering wheel, the divine steps in to steer you, but you give the divine the instructions, okay? It's like I'm being shown, you give the divine the manuscript. This is how it feels. This is how I will feel. This is what it looks like. This is what I expect, okay? Rather than it just being so black and white from this to that. There is her help here, the goddess energy, who's saying you can be part of the co-creation. You can be the one that helps yourself as much as the divine wanting to step in and help you. Let's read a little bit about her. Where's my book gone? Here we go, Diana. I grew up near Hampton Court Palace in UK, which sounds very grand. I obviously didn't live in Hampton Court Palace, but it was where Henry VIII and all his wives lived. Very beautiful palace on the River Thames. I want to go back actually. Spent many Sunday afternoons there with my family when I was growing up. But there was a park beside Hampton Court Palace called Bushy Park. And in the centre of Bushy Park is a statue of the goddess Diana. And I remember it very clearly because I've got an aunt who's called Diana. And I always used to, as a child, say, oh, there's Auntie Diana. You know, there she is up on her podium. But in all seriousness, I always just linked into the energy of Diana in Bushy Park, this amazing statue of her. And I always knew she was linked to the moon, which she is in this card as well. So let's see what she's got to say to us for these times that we're in. Okay, so she's known as the Roman moon goddess of the hunt. She's also known as Artemis in Greek mythology. She's depicted often with wild animals around her, and she's associated with the moon. And that's really interesting because at Bushy Park there were loads of stags and deer around the statue. and you often would see the antlers that had fallen off the stags, and you'd see them fighting with each other as well, which of course is a very male energy, you know, to do that. So even in Bushy Park, this amazing statue of her, she was surrounded by water, the moon was reflected in the water, and there were all these amazing animals that were around there. Sorry, that's me going off on a tangent, but I just wanted to say that. So she connects deeply with wild beasts that come out at night. She's often seen holding a bow and an arrow, which signifies her ability to help us focus on a vision. She helps us tune into our intuitive side so that we can learn to the wisdom that will guide us towards our goal. And in particular, she encourages women to move into their true power. And she asks, or she wants to help us to move forward with unwavering faith, knowing that the universe is supporting you. She's here to help you manifest what you deserve. Any fear is only a reminder that whatever you are working on or through is an important issue for your growth. It also talks about, because she's linked into the night, the owl also as another powerful spirit animal at this time. So I feel that, you know, there are some very powerful energies there that are helping you with these changes that are about to come in for many of us. We have the energy of Melchizedek, and we have the energy of Diana. And I feel as though I would just like to pull one more card from the Keepers of the Light. And I'm going to pull one more as well from the Spirit Oracle. So we end up with 6 cards. So we're going to have one more helper or support. Lady Portia, she keeps coming up at the moment. She's linked into the Violet Flame. And let's have one more card from the Spirit Oracle deck. Lady Portia, linked to the Violet Flame, is also in wanting you to know that whatever you are moved away from or whatever is resolved, it is transmuted. You know, there is it finishes in a good way. It doesn't finish in a way where loose ends are left energetically. It's as though karma gets completed, finished, it's all tidied up cleanly, and you, the other person, the situation, whatever it is we're talking about, will get surrounded by the Violet Flame energy. So it's transmuted, and it is resolved in the best possible way energetically as well, okay, in a balanced way. Okay, one more card from here. We've got the card of healing. Okay, so it's just really confirming what I've just said, really, because what it says is a positive transformation is occurring on a soul level, and the answer to your question is yes. So we're going to put that with our card of free will, divine will. We've got the card of healing, which is just confirming that whatever area of your life we're talking about here, whatever thing we're talking about here, ultimately this is for your highest good. It helps heal you so you can move into next year with fresh energy, with almost like a new body. That's what I'm being told, which I know makes me sound totally bonkers. But you need to understand that I'm not talking about, you know, some sort of transfiguration taking place. I'm just talking about the snake that shed its skin. And it's like, you know, we go into the new year completely new, ready to be anointed and new life. And I feel that's why the message is coming in this June. It's also coming in just before summer solstice here in the in where I live in the Northern Hemisphere. And it's as though Spirit is just wanting to give you some warning of what is to come. And please to just trust the process. Okay. So that's what I needed to say to you today, obviously. Wasn't expecting that to come through, but it makes sense to me in my life. I hope it makes sense to you in your life. And we will see, won't we? So the most important thing is just to know that Spirit does have your back. It knows what's going on in your life. It knows what you need help with. And this is all about getting you in the right place, with the right person, in the right, doing the right thing, in the right vibration for when you're, I'm hearing for when you're really going to be needed. And that isn't a negative. You know, when you're really needed is when the whole planet starts to rise up, and then there will be no, there will just be no illusion. You know, it'll be very, very obvious that something is happening on a positive level. You know, people becoming more unified and more together, and it will be the opposite of what we are experiencing at the moment, which is division, pain and hatred. Okay, so let's welcome that in, and let's use Diana's energy also to focus on that new world that we want to create. And what Spirit effectively are wanting to do is to help us create our version of ourselves that stands upon that new world. Okay, all right, lots of love. I will next speak to you after I'm back from Dublin. I'm in Dublin 23rd and 24th of June running the Archangel course. Then I will be back. Then I'm going to be getting the Archangel course for a distance program, which won't take long to do at all because all the work really is done. Just need to record things. And then I'm going to be taking definitely August off to spend some time with my family and recharge my own batteries as well, get some sunshine. But there's a lot going on, and you will also, probably next time you hear from me in a few weeks' time, I will be able to launch the new 7 Archangel sprays, which I've been creating with my colleague Tracy Eden, and I tell you what, they are amazing, really amazing, but that's for the next video. All right, everybody, lots of love. Namaste.